Hi guys, welcome back. So let me update a little bit of the market, and then I will talk about the recent earning of our stocks and give my view on the buying opportunity of some of the stocks, okay? First, Nasdaq just broke the 15,000 milestones on Monday, showing very strong signal. The whole time I was insisting that the crash is not coming yet. A lot of people worry that the moment Fed starts to taper or just simply discuss about tapering, the market is going to crash and it will hit the tech stock more. But I think the market is still overall within an uptrend. And so far we have been seeing some slight dip, quick and sharp, but usually turn out to be a buying the dip opportunity. Now this whole run up was driven mainly by the mega caps, so I am hoping, best case scenario, for Nasdaq to consolidate within the narrow range, so then it would create some opportunity for the medium to small growth stocks. With that said, let's look at Russell 2000. Surprise, surprise, is still moving at the same range I drew a few weeks ago, between 218 to 223. These 2 days it had reached the upper range of 223, the resistance, and again started to pull back and have a good dip to backtest 220, first support. So I think when it backtests 220 and 218, it would be good dip opportunity for the growth stocks. Now take a look at the Hang Seng Index. 2 months ago, I said if the Hang Seng Index can reach 25,000, it would be a golden dip for me. And we see that twice it had dipped to this level and got supported to have strong rebound. This time it's the same, a little bit below 25,000, 24,581 to be the lowest. I think there is a possibility that it had bottom last Friday and this Monday already, because for now it really looks like it had made a double bottom. And now that it's back testing, has a little bit dipped to 25,200 yesterday. I think it might be another opportunity for the people who did not buy at the sharp dip. At most it can dip a little bit more and then start to bounce back up. First target, the previous high of 26,500. After it hits this target, it might start to pull back again. Because even though I think we might have bottom already, I still think the reversal might come in October, so a few more weeks to go to know if it's gonna happen. I still insist, even though I've said it several times, I think October is quite important. The real negotiation between the US and China would happen, which is a meeting I think the Chinese government had planned long time ago. Maybe all these regulation, internal affairs happen for a reason, and the October negotiation might play a big part of it. And also the National Day is over, so then people do not need to worry that bad news are accumulated to come out like last time after the 100-year anniversary. And the moment we pass the previous high of here or here, that means we would be making higher highs and higher lows. It is when we can confirm the reversal had arrived. And at that time, I think more institutions, big and small, would start to buy more heavily. For now, they are more just taking advantage of the dip, and they might sell high and buy low and do more short-term trading. Until the reversal comes, they would buy in heavily, I believe. But all of these are pure prediction. So make sure you get more opinions than me. Do more due diligence before you decide on your decisions. So today we're having a market pullback, but overall, we still have a few stocks that are growing, countering the trend. First is LKCO. It's growing near 10%. It had finally released the earnings for the first half of 2021, which we have been waiting for a few weeks already. So the total revenue is $37 million, up 417%. That is quite a big jump from the year of 2020. Last time they said that they had a big hit because of COVID, and also a lot of the contracts were coming in starting in 2021, and the old contracts get executed this year also. So we are starting to see the progress for sure. Last time we checked, they had a 100 million target for the year of 2021. And now half of it is finished. We have 37 million so far. That means for the second half of the year, we need 67 million, which is a 70% jump from the first half. Can they manage it? Now, the first half of the year usually would have long holiday for the Chinese New Year. Some businesses can take up to 1 month of holiday for this. And for Chinese companies, usually they get more busy near the end of the year. So it would make sense for the second half of the year to get bigger revenue. Especially after the national holiday of October, there should be more clients and more orders coming in, usually for Chinese companies. I'm not sure for Luoquan Technology, but I hope it is. Usually from October to end of December, they would get more in a rush, in a hurry to confirm more contracts for the next year. I don't know why is that, but usually near the end, a lot of companies try to hurry up to finish the yearly target. Maybe because it's near the end of the year and they need to do a summary report. They feel like, oh, I need to hurry to finish all the plans I had at the beginning of 2021. So they would go out and contact a lot of suppliers and set up a lot of meetings. So usually this time would be the busiest time. And it's the same thing for auto sales, same thing for e-commerce because of the single day event. Another reason why I have higher expectation on October for Chinese companies, because I think the market sentiments, it's more optimistic at that time. So let's see if they can really finish this big target of 67 million, which I feel a little bit stressed for them, but at the same time I can't do anything but trust on their promise for now. Another growth or progress to look forward to is the revenue that Imago can bring to LKCO, because starting from the Q2 of 2021, they had finished 100% acquisition of Imago and they can start to count the revenue into the main company. For now, since Q2, it had only brought 1.8 million to the table, which is really a small percentage for the total revenue. But the company must have planned this acquisition strategically because they think they can bring synergy within the three main businesses. So that means all the three main businesses would likely have a boost because of this acquisition. So I would be looking forward to how much the revenue of Imago can grow after this acquisition. Because if the company doesn't give a promising outlook and strategy to grow Imago, I don't think they can successfully acquire the rest of the shares. So let's see moving forward. Now, in terms of share price, last week when it dropped to 1.2, it was on this day, August 19, when LKCO was at 1.29. I pointed out there was big order coming in and the capital flowing was up, even though the share price was down. So I said LKCO might be able to rebound for some time, I don't know how long, but the rally might come again in October. And the day before that, August 17, I was asked on the Discord if I'm gonna sell LKCO. I said no, I would wait for the earning first. And also I think the tech sector is near the end of correction. It was this 2 days, August 17 and 18, near the worst time of LKCO. And we saw that the rebound almost came right after that, quite strong, but we have a few resistance coming ahead, 1.71 to 1.77. But we also have a support at 1.57. So we would likely move within this range to consolidate. But the strongest support is at 1.32. If the market does a big correction, it might backtest. Now let's take a look at Yihan. It grew 3% so far. It released the earning yesterday morning. For the first half of 2021, the revenue is decreased by 35%, but the net loss is much bigger than the revenue and increased by 257%. So looking at the earning, of course, it looks pretty bad. But I guess what's our expectation of the revenue if we don't have the real business going on? And we won't have the real business until we get the certificate. So anyways, for now, the valuation of Yihang should not be based on their revenue. Because if we look at the competitors like Joby, Lilium, they're all pre-revenue. So people all expected them to have zero revenue anyways. And the valuation should be mainly based on the technology and the experience they have. So for now, when we look at the earning, it's more like to see how much cash they're burning at what rate and how long they can still last given the current cash position the company is holding. This year, the net loss had increased by a lot. I think it's mainly due to the share incentive for the employees and the R&D cost increase. And at this rate, judging from the cash they're holding, they should be able to still last for about 2 years if they spend the same amount of money. But I really think that they would get more investment injected in the company within this 1 to 2 years. At this stage, they need a lot of money for R&D. The competitors are catching up. And also, I heard that in the private market, the investment had been increasing for this sector, for air mobility. And when you look at the other ones that are getting investments from the big institutions, in comparison, Yihang has a significantly lower valuation than the others. Private market investment refer to the pre-IPO investment, so the company not yet public. Because if it's public listed, then it would be the public market. So right now, both the private market and public market are going more and more active for this sector, air mobility. We have some companies not yet IPO, and we have some companies going on IPO like Joby, Blade that are already public, and Lilium is going to be public through another SPAC. In comparison with the other ones, I think Yihang need to 4x or 5x to justify the valuation among the other competitors in the same sector. So it's still super undervalued. So that's why I'm not too concerned about the earnings, because it's not the point. It's not why investors invest in Yihang, as long as they don't delay the earning again. So the good news is that they had published the earning within August, still on time, without delaying like last time. So that's already a good news. After the earning yesterday morning, we had a big dip. At some point, I think it was dipping more than 10%, but quickly climbed back up. Yesterday morning, it was a 23 something. I said that as long as it stay above the 23.2 to 22.8, it's still fine. It did a sharp climb after the earning yesterday, and now we are back to the range I drew before. Exactly 1 month ago, I said that it would move between 24.8 and 26.3, and it's still the same thing. Right now, it seems to be trying to break out. If we can hold this or stay above for more than 3 days, it might be a breakout and back test, so we can move up to the next ladder. If we can successfully break out, the first target is 32, and next is the previous high, around 43 to 47. Same thing with many other Chinese stocks. I think it would rally somewhere in October, hoping, speculating the certificate. Now, YSG had also released the earnings this morning. It's not great, but it's really not that bad. The Q2 revenue is 1.5 billion yuan, year-over-year increase of 53%, so attractive growth rate, but the net loss to be 391 million yuan, increasing from the last year about 20%. So revenue growth 53% and net loss grew about 20%. That means their margin had been growing, so it's really not that bad. The company seems to be growing on an uptrend, healthy rate, but the share price dropped 17% after that. If we use the Q2 revenue for the year of 2021 and calculate the PS ratio, we would get around 1 billion of US dollar for revenue compared to the total market cap of 3 billion. Right now, it will make the PS ratio to be somewhere around 3, making YSG quite a cheap valuation, because China is still one of the fastest growing markets for makeup. Not a lot of the market can grow more than 10% or at the 2 digits growth rate. But makeup is still early in China. A lot of the women are starting to use more and more makeup nowadays, especially the millennials. And they love national brands, getting more and more like that. So I think there's no way YSG cannot take advantage of this big trend coming. The only problem, or maybe the biggest problem, is the shareholder. One of the 3 co-founders just left the company, and I think that is the main reason why the share price had been decreasing that much. Because it doesn't make sense for investors to see a co-founder leaving so early when their company just got public a few months ago. And the company should be at an up and rising trend, having a good future. Why would the co-founder leave at this point? So that's one of the concern. Another concern is that he has so many shares and he needs to sell out, obviously, after he leaves the company. So altogether, it's just pressing down the share price more and more. But at this point, I do think it's near the end, because we have been having a long divergence while the share price kept making lower lows and the MACDs kept making higher lows. So we might be at the end of the worst moment, and we might see some hope coming soon, I hope. But I gotta admit, this chart, it's not good to me. So far I have been wrong almost every single time with YSG, so again, I'm not sure about this time. But if you believe in the makeup trend of China, if you believe in the national brands within the millennials, then I guess you can average down or start a position, but set a stop loss at the lowest price this morning to be 7.1, so you're risking about 2 to 3%, which is okay, I think. Last one is NIU. It's a scooter company. I covered it last week. I said that it might have bottomed already, and you can see that it had been growing strong with very little pullback every time. So I think right now it's also just slightly back testing. Overall, might have seen the bottom already and might be a good buying opportunity. It had also the earning report last week, and it was pretty good. You can set a stop loss at 24 in case it makes another leg down, okay? Now, that's it for today. If you have enjoyed this video, please give me a big like and write me a great comment, and I'll see you in my next video. That's it, guys. Hope you can find my videos helpful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and give me a big like. Thank you.